morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning's coffee stream. See, I showed up this time. Yeah.
Ooh.
Today, joining me is
How
Dark
dare.
Little Voices. Look, my guest didn't show up. I really needed groceries. It worked out, okay? No lie. That's actually what happened. I was like, I could go on, but that's boring. I've done it before, but I'm not very good being a guest with myself, okay?
I mean, sometimes you just gotta get those groceries and make any excuse. I mean, just gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. So good morning, Derringer.
Morning, Furberries.
Good morning,
Alright.
Rando Carizian, and good morning, Furberries. And apparently the music is banging. I have no clue. I can't hear
It
it.
is. I'm so sorry for you, but it is definitely on the banging scale.
Well, I mean, I could, but then y'all hear it twice or 3 times, maybe 20 times.
Yeah.
Error, the receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream as such viewers would experience buffering. Why? My internet is supposed to be good. Like, I need to get back into the habit of restarting my internet first thing in the mornings for my streams.
That is unfortunate.
Just tell me, guys, that the stream is having problems. You know how it is. You know how she be.
Yeah. Sorry, I sense a disturbance in the force somewhere.
It might be a rando.
I think it could be. It could very well be Rando.
Yes, he might be a Star Wars nerd, maybe. You can't tell by his name and avatar.
I'm sorry. It's too early to process sarcasm.
His character, you can't see it, but I'm dancing like nobody's watching. I can see it. I'm behind you, watching you from your window. Though you moved, you jerk. You know how long it took me and Pam to find you the second time? Jeez, rando.
Yeah, that doesn't sound creepy at all.
Oh, he's
Just
totally
wasting all this time stalking people.
especially the people that live in Georgia. Like, jeez.
Right?
I am also a Star Wars nerd, says Derringer. No, you are.
Oh.
You might be, but to me, you're more of a Yu-Gi-Oh.
A Yu-Gi-Oh fan?
Oh, he's a huge Yu-Gi-Oh fan, man. Him and Seraphine the Midnight Bard have actually a podcast where they nerd out about Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nightmare's Edge. Sorry, I keep doing that.
It's all
I
good.
keep forgetting, it's your streams.
It's
Let you do it first.
It's all good. No. As long as the guests don't get forget.
Right. Okay.
So good morning, Nightmare's Edge. And yes, 42, not 242. 42 created Rando. There's lore with my channel / Rando's channel. Now it's complicated.
Well, I gotta hear it sometime because I love lore. That's what drags me into any video game, to be honest.
I should make a little playlist where all of our little intro things went together. Cause yeah.
Absolutely.
There's Rando's supposed to create a full story for it.
Okay.
But he's been busy, so been very, very busy, and then dying, and then back to being now he's not busy. Well, he's probably busy. Probably trying
Well, I
to find-
mean, if you're busy dying, you're busy dying. Can't do anything about that.
No, I tried not being busy dying, but it didn't work out for me.
How you doing, Nightmare's Edge? I hope you're doing well. Alrighty, so shall we talk about? Because I ran out of tea, which is sad.
I ran out of water and my hot chocolate's gone. I finally found the hot chocolate bombs, which is basically, it's a ball made of chocolate with the marshmallows inside of it, and you put it in milk and stir it, and it melts and becomes hot chocolate for you. It's so good. I've been looking for them for 2 years, and I finally found them.
What's the brand that makes them?
Oh god, I don't know. It's in a red box. Let's see what's on this packaging.
It could be made by the government. It's just like it's just in a red box, you know.
I didn't pay attention. It
No
is.
problem, man. It's just glad to have you here, man.
That's how it's spelled. I just posted it on the stream.
Oh, you posted on the stream. I don't. Oh wait, nope.
It should be there.
I'll figure it out eventually.
I am no longer dying. I am writing. I'm just slow and dyslexic. There's a lot of dyslexic people here. We found those on Facebook Marketplace last Christmas, apparently. Yeah,
Interesting.
I didn't look on Marketplace. I was told that they were at Costco, and I finally found them at Costco. And my husband walked past, like, my husband grabbed them and went, oh, or, he looked at them and went, oh, hot chocolate bombs. I kept walking, and I was like, wait, what? And I grabbed them, like, threw them in the cart, and he's like, what are you doing? No, we don't need. I was like, I've been looking for those for 2 years now. We are taking them home, so help me. Like, I don't get a say in this, do I? Nope.
Nope. Only thing you get to say is, yes, honey, I will definitely help you smuggle these into the house.
Actually, they sit in our bedroom because they're one of the few things I don't want to share with anyone. Because you get 9 of them for like $12, so they're not the cheapest things in the world, but they're my treat. So they're my. I had a hard day. I want hot chocolate with marshmallows, mini marshmallows. I need to get a Costco membership. Yes, you do.
I don't really live near Costco, and I just don't care.
Well, here's the nice thing. If you go to a Costco and you just want their, like, hot dogs or whatever, you do not need a membership to go to the food court.
That is fair.
Also, if you want to go to a Costco and shop, but you don't want to get a membership, buy a Costco gift card or get someone to buy one for you. You are allowed in with that gift card, and you're allowed to spend more than the gift card.
Ooh.
Yeah, tricks to gain.
Love gimmicks like that.
In Canada, they also have to make it so you can go to the pharmacy without a Costco membership. I'm not sure if it's in the States, but because it's a pharmacy, that's another exception.
I haven't gone to Costco since I was a teenager, so it's been a minute.
I never even went to Costco as a kid. My mom, our town didn't have a Costco that I grew up in.
I didn't have a say in it. My mom would just be like, hey, listen, we need to go grocery shopping. It's cheaper to get this stuff at Costco. You're coming with. And then I would try to fight it and say, hey, can I just stay with grandma's? Like, nope, you're coming with us now. So, okay, well, I could say that you taught me not to just randomly go into people's cars, but I'm pretty sure I'll get smacked for it, so I'm just gonna go.
Just good. Like, you people look like you might take me to grandma's. Could you take me to grandma's, please? She lives on Cherry Lane.
Sad thing is, I'm pretty sure, and it could be just a made-up memory or something, but I'm pretty sure that I've done that once or twice and then got punished for it. I just feel like I was that much of a dick of a child, so it's a possibility.
Brando says, nope, need a membership for everything in Costco in Georgia. That fucking sucks.
That does suck.
I mean, come on. The cafeteria, like, really? You're just grabbing some food. Yeah.
Yep.
The funny part is, I get Costco gas because there's a Costco literally across the street from my work. And I get gas there every week. And technically, I'm not supposed to because my husband's on the card, not me. Because we got one for my husband and one for one of my roommates. So that either one of us could go. Welcome September Dragon Auto, which I mean February Dragon Auto.
Wow. No, go ahead. Keep butchering the names. See how many people leave.
Hey, I am dyslexic. I am allowed. He is a
Right.
February dragon. He just changed with every month. He
Ooh.
becomes that dragon of that month. In my head. That's my head canon. Whether or not
So, should we just address him as Hello February Dragon Audio?
just call him February dragon. It's all good.
There we go. Hey, February Dragon, how you doing?
February Wyvern. Wyvern sounds.
Wyvern.
That means
I mean, it's the same difference, I think.
September.
Pretty sure it is.
I can make him laugh every time I do it. So the day that he stops laughing will probably the day I stop doing it to him. The day he no longer finds it funny.
I'll stop doing it when you stop laughing.
I'll stop laughing when you stop doing it.
I end up doing that quote whenever, like, this is from Shaun of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
And every time I do something that pisses off Decay, and then she still ends up laughing over it anyway. She just like she'll say something like "Stop doing it." I'm like, "I'll stop doing it when you stop laughing," and she'll kind of chuckle over it. I'm not laughing.
No, I get that. Yep. Nope. 100%. February flying lizard voice.
Flying lizard voice. Oh god. Oh, Derringer.
Yes, and he's on my stream tomorrow. Little plug.
Ooh.
So tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or noon Pacific Standard Time, which is my normal time for doing my stories. There will not be a story this week due to a few reasons. One of them being that we got a kitten in my house, so stuff happened. We will be doing a live stream that is a question and answer, and Derringer and Seraphine the Midnight Bard will be joining me and asking me questions that I have to answer. But I have the right to refuse to answer any question Derringer comes up with that I have no clue of.
Quote unquote knows nothing of.
But I do have on Twitter a thing where you can, if there's any questions you specifically want to ask me, I have a place where you can ask me there. So, and of course on the live stream you can ask at that time as well. But yeah, no, I on Wednesday I'm like, I have no energy to do this. I'm watching the cat and I'm like, can't do a story.
Wow.
Going to ask about spaghetti tacos. I really don't know anything about spaghetti tacos.
I heard you have to develop a taste for it or something like that. I don't know how I feel about spaghetti tacos. Fish tacos, on the other hand, those are pretty good.
If you talk about Star Trek, I'm suing. He spelled Star Trek wrong. We talk about Star Wars. Actually, I've been talking a lot more about Star Wars recently. It's been interesting. Because I'm watching the Book of Boba Fett. I watched the Mandalorian. Yeah.
You're welcome. I will help you all the way.
I mean, I have watched stuff with the Mandarin in it, but that's Marvel. No, but I've been learning more about Star Wars recently. It's interesting. It's just I do like Star Trek better. But
one day I will find an actual Star Wars fan. It's okay. The search continues.
Rando. Rando would be the one. He owns 3 lightsabers.
Ooh. I only own 2. I had a 3rd one, but I don't know what the hell happened to that one.
Blame the kids.
I think I might have broken it. I'm pretty sure I broke it in a fight.
I actually threw the one my husband had out, but there was a reason for that.
Ooh, do tell.
His ex bought it for him.
Oh.
The ex
I won't
before
go there.
me. It's okay. She's like, I actually don't hold any ill will. They were actual kids when they were dating. Don't watch the sequels. They are so bad.
I don't know. I mean, they weren't that bad. They could have been better, but I wasn't expecting much because, well, Disney took over, so
The first
can't
one
do
was
much.
really good. Like I really enjoyed the first one, and I could see where they could have went with it. Like he
Hmm.
completely left the door open for this to be an epic story, where they could have still went somewhere where the original went, but
Yeah.
then they got a different director.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the
Of
second
course.
two were from the same director, and that's where it went down. Because it was J.J. Abrams who did the first one, and you could
Hmm.
tell it was a love story. Like it wasn't a love story. It was a love letter to Star Wars. You could tell that he loved Star Wars. He was taking everything that was the foundation before it, building on it, and leaving it open so that the next director could take it where he really wanted to. Enough hints that
Hmm.
there was stuff still in the works, but nothing concrete enough that he was stuck somewhere. And it's just, and then the next director just, you can tell he didn't care about Star Wars nearly as much.
That's depressing.
Yeah, no, and it would have been nice if they had left things a little less. Everything is basically this 2-3 families or ruin the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was hard. It was hard to basically remember watching that first one and going, wow, I really can see that they can go anywhere, and that this was an actual love letter to the what came before it, and then the next person going, and I shout all over it. It's like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah, and here's my thing on it is that I really don't like the people who hated the fact that Rey was, I guess, supposedly a female version of Luke Skywalker or something of that sort. Like, the thing with Rey is that she had her own book, and I actually got to enjoy a little bit of it when I was a kid. And the fact that they just wanted to make it sound like, oh well, we're just putting in a female character, it just pissed me off. Like, because she is just an amazing character in her own right, and then the first one was great, and then it just, I don't really like how the last one ended, just because I felt like it stole that moment from her. Like, yeah, it was cool that she basically considered herself a Skywalker, but the problem with that is that, and this is just my opinion, is that it robs the fact that she was her own character and she was able to stand her own ground and do all this other crazy shit, and then it's just like you kind of robbed it of her from just giving her the, oh well, now my last name is Skywalker.
Yeah, she was always her. Yeah, no, and then what Rando said, the Last Jedi damaged Star Wars beyond repair.
Mm. I mean, I have hope that the franchise will get better, especially with how much people were really loving the Mandalorian, and now we got the book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, which the last two episodes were just the Mandalorian.
which I liked.
My husband, which I liked. Yeah, they were just like I wouldn't mind knowing where Boba Fett's going with it, but it's just like I thought we were watching the Book of Boba Fett, not the Mandalorian, because he was fully in the last two. Boba Fett was in for like 30 seconds. It's like, what are we doing? It's fine that Rey. It's fine with
This,
Rey. The problem is she's crazy powerful and no training. That's not how it works.
Anakin Skywalker disagrees with you.
yeah, I'm gonna be with your husband on that one because, I mean, he had a lot of potential just as a kid, and then like Palpatine already had seen how much raw potential he could have if he joined the dark side. So I gotta disagree with that, Rando. Sorry.
Dark Love Voices agrees with you. Good luck finding some. My husband's looking for clean socks, so like, good luck finding them.
I know that struggle.
Yeah, I think everyone knows the struggle for clean socks.
Especially when somehow one of the socks mysteriously disappears as it comes out the dryer. Not the washer, the dryer. At least that's just been my experience.
Like, the dryer eats the socks. We don't know how they go, but it just eats, like, one pair.
Only the left sock.
Only the left sock. How it knows it's the left sock, I don't know. Anakin was the fucking chosen one, and he needed training his entire life.
No. Anakin was just that beastly. They wanted to train him to keep him from being crazy, which didn't work because they tried to cut him off from the shit he loved.
Yeah. That was, I felt, was the stupidest part. Like,
Oh,
we don't want you to give into the dark side because we know that all this fear that you'll end up building within inside yourself will drive you to the dark side. But we're gonna indirectly help you join the dark side by giving you all this reason to hate the Jedi.
well, the Jedi. So, my biggest thing is, my husband's now gone. The biggest thing that I find is the Jedis aren't the good guys. They're just the less evil of the two. Really, the original canon, the legend canon, because my husband is really a big Star Wars fan for, like, legends and stuff, he went gray originally, where he took the dark side, saw the good that the dark side had to it, took the light side, and combined the two, and basically made it, you use your emotions because we're human, or humanoids. We have emotions. We are going to get attached to things. That's how it works. You're going to get attached to people you love. You can't live your life not getting attached to anyone. Even the Jedi got attached to people. They got attached to other Jedi.
Yeah.
There is no way to not be attached to people. Obi-Wan Kenobi was attached to Anakin. That was his friend. That's the person he cared about. There was no, you can't be attached to people, you can't have families and all this stuff. It's like, that doesn't work. We know psychologically that doesn't work. We get attached. That's how we are. That's how humans are. And of course, these are all based off of humans or humanoids, close enough, that we know that attachment is important for us to be social creatures. That's how it works. If you want to be in a pack and be with other people, you get attached because that's how you care about each other. And so it's just, my biggest problem was that they have this whole don't get attached to anyone. Well, you're going to. There's no way around it. And original Luke saw the problem because he goes dark side originally. After he killed his father, he did actually go dark side for a little bit. Leia brought him back, and he started to see where the Jedi were wrong and where the dark side was wrong, but where they were also right about things. And he reforged it. And that's where I was hoping they would go with Luke. I was hoping he would be a gray Jedi.
I feel like if they had more time or they had more sequels or something of that sort, maybe they would have been able to bring out the gray side of Luke Skywalker. But I will give it to them that they kind of gave hints through that movie that he did go to the gray side, with how his attitude in the original movies was just like, no, I must follow the way of the Force. And then it's just like, this is stupid.
Yes, but the way of the Force is neutral. It's not good nor bad. It is just how nature is. And in the Boba Fett, you're actually seeing Anakin, which the funny part is, if you watch The Mandalorian and watch the last episode where you saw Luke and how bad he was CGI'd young, a guy on YouTube made him look way better. Disney came and hired that guy. They're like, oh, you know how to do this. Come on, we'll give you a job. I disagree. Anakin Skywalker was powerful, yes, but he needed training to control that power. And yes, the Jedi are the bad guys, and that's the reason the Sith formed in the first place because of how misguided the Jedi were. Yes, and yeah, no, and other reasons. I mean, the Sith it's always more complicated.
It's like how this whole stream is just now turned into a whole discussion of Star Wars. This has made my morning.
Well, you see, this is how this always works. It's whatever kind of the topic turns into. I don't plan anything because I find that it's more fun for it to be natural.
That's true. That is true.
But yeah, no, I've learned more about Legends and how the backstory is, and then watching how the canon's forming out and just going, Legends, I can see where it went. And yeah, when you meet Luke on that place, you do see that he's not as focused on being what the Jedi were. He was more focused on, but still was scared of the dark side. But I think that's because they didn't get a chance to work through
Randall, you don't have to apologize, man. We're just all having a discussion about Star Wars, man. It's all good.
But I think it's because if they actually had been able to have a chance where they did the backlog and were actually able to get him to work through his dark side, then he wouldn't be so scared of it. He would have accepted that part of himself. Because yeah, his dad was the worst, one of the most dangerous friggin' Sith ever, but at the same time, he still had good in him. Like, yeah, apparently September says, I always felt like the Jedi were the evil ones. And yeah, but the Sith weren't any better. They were willing to kill anyone. Power for power's sake is never a good thing, and that's what the Sith always were. They wanted to be powerful to be powerful. They wanted to live forever to live forever. While the Jedi actually already knew how to live forever, because they become actual one with the Force. But it's just,
that is true.
The lack of attachment is just not realistic, and it was the one thing that always ticked me off, was that's not how anyone works. People get attached to people. It's just you don't get attached to someone outside the order then. You just get attached to all these people. And it just doesn't work out. It never does. And that's why the Jedi were always going to fall, because they always had to fall. Because they weren't doing things right. And I think Yoda might have realized that too. Might have saw.
Yoda is the most interesting character in my opinion, just because it was kind of if memory serves me correct, I'm pretty sure Yoda was that one character that George Lucas himself was debating whether or not to even use him in the franchise when they were first coming up with the concept of him.
I'm not 100% sure about that, actually. He did use him, and he was just shy of 1,000 years old when he died. Yeah. I think, anyways.
I mean, I just the fact that with the Sith and then Yoda being almost 1,000 years old, it's just like,
yeah, apparently
it's living proof that, like,
at 900 years old, he was 900.
Yeah.
I looked it up real quick.
I cannot wrap my mind around living that long, you know?
Well, his race lives normally, I think, about 700. His race lives a very long time.
Yeah,
but he,
I don't know.
He was pushing his life on further because he knew he had to train someone to bring. He knew about, of course, Luke, and he knew that the training had to. My theory is that both Obi-Wan and Yoda were actually both dead by the time Luke got to them. They were just holding themselves together. Like, we know for a fact that's true for Yoda. 100%. He was only holding himself together with the Force. He should have been dead. But I think Obi-Wan was the same. I think Obi-Wan was holding him together with the Force to make sure Luke started going down the path he needed to bring Anakin down, or to free Anakin. Because Luke actually brought Anakin back to the light side before he died.
Yeah.
reminding him of all the good things and letting him not feel that anger that has been driving him for what 20 somewhat years, but that even longer probably. So just yeah, and the other thing was apparently he didn't know about the whole becoming one with the Force thing. That's why he was so confused when Obi-Wan just poofed in front of him. But that's what makes me think, because he disappears like Yoda does. And that's what makes me think that he was only holding himself together with the Force as well. And he just let himself go at that moment to confuse Vader to let Luke get away. Because Vader didn't know who Luke completely was at that point. And he didn't know, of course, who Leia was. Because if he knew who Leia was when he had her, he would have, one, never let her go, and two, never threatened her. He would have never done any of that stuff to her. He would have started training her in the Force.
Know.
That's his daughter.
That I feel like realistically, if Vader had known that Leia was his daughter, I feel like he would have used it more to his advantage and trying to get, because Vader's thing when we first get to introduce to him in the movies, I don't know how it is in the comic books and stuff like that, but well, good morning, King of the Canadian Hill.
Welcome, King!
But it's just like when we first get introduced to Vader, it seems like he is hell-bound on finding the last remains of Jedi, or
The Resistance.
the Resistance. I feel like all he would have really done was just used it to his advantage to find the last of the Resistance and wipe them out, and then maybe take Leia under his wing. But it would have been more just manipulating her into giving the where is the last of the Resistance, where they're hiding out.
Well, think of it this way. You think that your wife died and your children died with her. And then you found out this whole time that woman right there, that princess, is actually your daughter. Yes, he's going to use her to get the Resistance, but he's also he wouldn't be threatening her like he did. He also wouldn't have let her be so in that cage alone. There would have been guards around her all the time. Like, he would have treated it differently. Vader did know because he was saving her from going to Alderaan, which was going to be destroyed. Oh, so maybe he didn't know. I heard that
possible.
He didn't fully know that it was his, because the whole thing was when Luke gave away that was his sister, or something like that. I know that the whole sister thing was supposed to be a big thing.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, because they kissed.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I
actually, apparently, I found out recently that if you were pulled away from your family if you go into foster care and then you find your family afterwards, you are highly likely to be attracted to them.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yes. Yep.
Oh my god.
Because you didn't grow up with them, you don't know they're your family. So I guess partly you are attracted to something in them that reminds you of yourself. Yeah.
I did read somewhere that it stops us from involving ourselves in situations like that is the fact that we're built to find, opposites of ourselves or something of that sort. So it kind of makes sense in a way, because if you didn't even really knew that this person was your sibling, kind of are not really like mentally used to that fact that they are your sibling. And then when you find out later, I don't want to go past that point. That's too dark for me.
Just look at the royal families. That will give you an idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was the culture back then.
To keep
that's
the
a
blood,
little different.
Well, to keep the blood pure, blah, 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 right?
Oh, yeah, some of that sort.
Yeah,
well, no, it's not just to keep the blood pure. It was because back in those days, think it was your male cousin had the right to. No, it was that what happened was that the family would be worried that if you had married outside of the family, that you would lose that property to whoever the other family was or something of that sort. Therefore, it was a lot easier to just transfer all your assets within the family by having you and your cousin to get married.
No, with the royal
As
family,
far as royalty,
it was to keep the blood pure. That was
yeah.
what the idea was originally. That's just the royal family specifically. Yes, as for inheritance, because women weren't allowed to inherit anything forever, it made it so, yeah, cousins and stuff, so it stayed in the family. The wealth stayed in the family. Love the Return of the Jedi. Sister knows the twin sister. If you won't turn to the dark side, maybe she will. Then Luke's like, ah!
Oh, King.
That's how King works.
I still need to hurry up and make that website so I can post his fan art of our channel on there.
Yes, he did. He did quite a few people. I think
Yeah.
in paint. It looks like paint.
Yeah. Is it with a mouse? Because it looked kind of like it would be with a mouse. As
Probably.
one who used to paint with using a mouse before I got one of those drawing pads instead.
I've actually.
You know how much that could be a pain in the ass.
I actually want to get a drawing pad, but not to draw with. It would make editing my pictures a lot easier.
Yeah. Could see that.
Well, see, I use a trackball mouse because my desk is so small that I don't have room for a real mouse. So it's not the most precision. I'm scared of my sister, so if I don't even know or meet her, I would be absolutely scared to death of her.
Oh, God. Oh, King, I can't help you there, man.
Is your sister older than you or younger than you, King? Probably older, if you're scared of her. Paint and drawing pad and pencil.
Nice. So it's traditional mixed with modern. I like that. Because that's what I was starting to do with EA stuff, which I still have to finish. Just haven't had time to sit down and finish coloring the rest of it.
Apparently she is younger. Sister, so you have a twin sister. Your thoughts now betray her too. If you will not turn to the dark side, then perhaps she will. Luke, never. Sorry, massive nerd. It's the same. You know what? It's pronounced the same way.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
It has two different definitions, but I know what you meant.
Well, it's two, and two. Who came up with these things? Come on.
And I don't even know.
And
Because I know there's this one really long word that's... Oh, you know what I learned the other day? Is that you could use the word buffalo, like continuously, and it would all somehow make sense grammatically as to like an actual sentence, like 353 Derringer.
Look, it doesn't really work unless it's two, so the artwork is taking over the comedy stand-up, and I love it. I used to be a stand-up comedian in Ontario.
Ooh. Yeah, I remember you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Then I just watched one of his videos, and I was just like, wow, this is both dark and funny, so I'm actually interested in continuing to watch the rest of his channel. I'm gonna put you up here because I almost spilled you again.
This was not the first time.
Nope. I kind of wish it did. I don't know. I'll clean it later. I have a bunch of cleaning to do after this anyway.
I have a bunch of recording to do because I gotta get my 2 sentence horrors together.
Well, I don't plan on doing any recordings until after this week's final coming up, so... Once that's done, I'll go back to recording for sure.
Gotta be recording.
Yeah.
Always gotta be recording. The main streets of Hamilton and Toronto. The mean streets, sorry. But yet so far, King. What do I see? They are chaos. I, for some reason, woke up at 5 this morning. It was terrible.
Yeah. Wait, you woke up at 5?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, for some reason, my husband woke up, and then I woke up, and then Lily was whining, and I had to get up.
Sorry, hair raising. I haven't seen stand-up comedy in a very long time. And it's not by choice. It's just... I guess I just don't watch it a lot on Netflix, but I used to watch it a lot when Comedy Central was on cable, and I had cable. But I haven't had cable in, what is it, like 11, almost 12 years coming to the date.
Yeah, cable's kind of died. Oh, and welcome, Hair Raising Narratives. I think that's the first time we talked, actually. I think. Unless I missed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, he just got in. I've been
Welcome to
like, it's so much
chaos.
easier. And last time I was on your stream, I should have just done this on my desktop. I'm sorry, my laptop. Because doing it on my phone was a pain.
Well, you know, for
Thing was
next
ever.
time.
Oh, I mean.
I used to get up at 4
Kinda
every
not-
morning to wake up. I'm going to start doing that again. I wake up at 4 now, but that's not to wake up. That's to go to work. That's right. 4 o'clock is the right time for me. Well, 4:30. I can at 4:30. I'm not gonna work out like Rando does. Rando's a crazy man. Crazy man.
I gotta start working out. I keep saying that I got to, and then I don't.
Because it's
And it doesn't help when I watch Lady Spookaria's thing, because then I always leave her freaking streams more hungry than when I started watching them.
Chicken nuggies.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have her sippy
Freaking
sips.
famous baked potato recipe that she still hasn't given to poor Adam.
She'll never give it to Adam. Never. Then he would stop asking for it and therefore never show up on your stream again. Can't have that.
I gotta love that old classic manipulation.
Yeah, duh. I haven't worked out in so long. Yeah, it's been almost a year for you, Rando? You got no muscles left? They're all gone now? I
The
doubt
kids
it.
are my workout, essentially. Started off with just a little bit of play fighting, and then they're just like, no, I gotta see how strong I am against you. Like if it's some weird ass episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Ah! Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Ah!
Shoot, man, my kids got strong. They took my strength. Gotta be careful with my son, because at one point we were just roughhousing a bit, and this kid went for a kick, and I swear to God, I felt like he was really gonna kick my ass into the wall. I was like, no, we're gonna stop this now. I have to put you back in your place. There's only room for one king.
4 a.m. Way too early, Rando. And yes, that'd be 4 a.m. for King too, actually, because he lives in the east. Ugh. No.
Ooh.
I wake up at 4:30. It's too early. I have to be work at 6, and it's like a 20-minute drive to get to work, and I have to get tea. Because I've actually told my boss this many times. If I'm late, expect tea. I will still. I can only be late once, and I'm going to show up my tea, because You don't want 242 without her tea.
Apparently.
Well, that's without my caffeine, man. I might kill you.
God damn.
Well, so the Tim Hortons near me, on Thursday, their ATM went, or their debit card machine went down. And that's fine. That happens. Not a big deal. I had enough points to get my tea for free. So there was nothing. I had no money to exchange. They just scanned my card. It was done.
Right.
But I didn't get my muffin that I get in the morning to get food into me. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go back at 8 o'clock because I'm going to be hungry by that point. So I was. And I drive to their drive-thru. No signs up. I'm like, okay, we're fine. Drive in at the order thing. Our debit is down. You motherfuckers, I can't get out of here. I have been in line to find out your debit machine is down. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously, put it at the entrance. So I went to go pull in because their debit works inside. It's just the one on in their drive-thru went down. And I get that. Like, shit happens. I understand that. Like, I am not mad that their debit was down. I am mad that they didn't put the damn sign at the entrance. I know for a fact I'm not the only one, because I went to talk to a coworker. She's like, I fucking know they didn't have the sign up, and like, seriously, you can't just leave. There's no quick exit. You gotta wait for all the rest of the fucking cars to get out of the way so you can leave.
Oh,
so I went to the McDonald's was next door and grabbed a sandwich there, but I was just like, I was so livid. And I'm still mad. I'm like, you put it at the entrance. Your drive-through has been backed up out of the exit before, and I only had 15 minutes, but if I had been in from all the way from the back with a big lineup and then found out that your debit was down, oh, I've been pissed. I saw the lineup getting huge when I left. I went, I hope y'all have cash. Yeah.
That's why I don't miss working. I don't miss working fast food. But yeah, King, to address your question, let me put it this way: my son has actually tried that before. Like I've told him that there's only room for one king in this house as a joke, and he took it to the next level. And he legitimately tried to kick me so hard to get into the couch, so I took his leg and I swung him into said couch. And that was that.
There can only be one king. Okay, now I'll take you out. No. And King, yeah, get that out of order sign up in the front. Yeah, no, that's how you piss people off, especially since that's such a small, like, that area doesn't have very much around it. But if you pissed off enough people, they'll stop showing up. Like, I could go to McDonald's instead. Problem is they don't have steep tea. They only have regular tea. The difference between steep tea and regular tea is the fact that it's been sitting in a pot for a while and it's already ready, so you don't need a tea bag. And it's just like, I have to deal with a tea bag in the end. Okay, I need to go get a lot to do. Okay, take care, Rando. Stay out of trouble.
You take care, man.
Don't lift any kids and start doing workouts. I don't know. Don't go over to Dark Little Voice's house and start picking up his kids.
Yeah.
There can only be one.
My daughter's getting bad at that too. I have to remind my kids all the time. It's like, if Poppy is sitting down and wanting to relax, it is not an invitation to just start challenging the king. And then they'll wait. I've literally watched them, and that's the part that kills me the most. They will literally wait until I get nice, comfortable, relaxed. I got the PS4 controller in my hand, and it's like, I'm coming to get you. And then they just like charge at me. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Then the worst is that my daughter knows she's not strong enough to take me on by herself. So it doesn't matter what room we're in. She'll immediately call her brother, who is stronger than her, and goes, "Hey, William, let's go. Hurry up, get in here. She's like, oh my god, I didn't want to fight today, but I'm gonna have to kick these children's asses.
And this is why you don't have kids. See?
I know.
You know when I have to fight? My dog. It actually do.
Oh, no.
Actually, sometimes I'll lie down and she'll like, she'll be frightened on me. I'm like, what, one go? She's like, rrr. I'm like, oh, that'd be fighting words. And start fighting her. Sounds like those kids have their priority strength. Take down the king. Become the king. The funny part is, though, kids don't realize that they just don't want to have all the responsibilities you have at all.
That is absolutely true.
But I mean...
Keep telling them all the time, growing up is not as fun as I make it look.
Look.
I just make it look that way because when you get to my age, you'll get to see the real side of everything.
Look.
So enjoy it while you have it.
Yes. Look. I have to sit down, pay all the bills. I have to go to the job and work. What you're seeing is the relaxed side, and the side that doesn't show you that I think that the world's gonna fall out around me at any moment, but I can't let you see because you're kids, and I don't want you to know that at any moment this house might fall in front of my feet. What?
Yeah. Shit.
I actually told my mom, I was like, Mom, Dad, you guys were really good at bullshitting, because I bet you had no clue what the fuck you were doing. Mom's like, yeah, what's your point? I was like, fuckers! You made this look easy! This is anything but easy. I want a refund.
Yeah, speaking of mothers, my mom is the worst. Like, she's getting to that age where she's trying to BS that she didn't do half the things me and my sisters tell her she did.
Oh.
Like she straight up tries to tell me, no, there's no way I would ever have done that to you guys. It's like, the fuck you didn't. You did that and then some, lady.
Again, the book. So, on June 25th of 1996, you said, and I quote, because I have recordings.
Unfortunately, I don't. And then she immediately points that out. I was like, oh, well, if you didn't get on tape, it doesn't count. It's like, I'm pretty sure that's not how that should work.
Classic mom denial. Denial isn't just a river in Egypt.
You're absolutely right, hair raising. You're absolutely right.
Look. I love my mother. And I love my father, and I have to say this because they actually listen to the stream every once in a while and they'll tell me that. So I'm not getting into it.
Oh, so you're pulling out the cue cards?
Yes, I want points. I need points. I need to be the favorite, okay?
Yeah.
Nah, no one's parents are perfect. If they are, you need to reassess your life because that's not true. No, everyone thinks their parents, by the time they get older, are perfect and they made no mistakes. You need to go see a therapist because you're wrong. Because every person makes mistakes. There's always mistakes to be made. That's just how it works. The idea is, though, you should make different mistakes than your parents made.
Yeah.
And try to be the
In
best
other words, just
parent
basically learn from your parents' mistakes and try not to do that.
Exactly. The stuff that you, and especially since we now have more psychology on some of the stuff that back when I was growing up we thought was okay, like the whole spanking your kid thing was still okay when I grew up. We now know that doesn't work at all.
I find that to be a little arguable, but go on.
It teaches the kid to hide and not get caught, not do that behavior again.
Kids do that regardless.
Yeah. But
I mean, come on. We all know that at some point a kid is gonna go and just pretend like they had no idea that they did this or this thing was wrong or something of that sort. Just to kind of get away with it.
My dad told me I could have a couple cookies. I didn't know what a couple was. So I ate as
See?
many cookies as I wanted. But to be fair, he didn't say go have 2 cookies. He said a couple. And I was pretty young. I think I ate 4. I ate 4 or 5 cookies. It wasn't like a terrible amount. Who's speaking what now? Welcome, Dylan.
No, we're talking about spanking children and how we now believe that it is wrong because what did you say 242?
It doesn't teach them to not do that behavior. It teaches them just to hide it and actually makes them scared of you. So there's more evidence coming out that it doesn't help in the way you think. There's better ways to deal with it when that comes up. So it's still a hot topic because there are people who believe that that's the best thing to do. It's just the science is coming out and stuff about it. So.
Here's my thing is that when I first had my firstborn son, I felt that spanking was in fact the way. But here's the thing. I feel like I've learned that it's not so much whether you do or you don't spank your children. It's more of a balance issue. So realistically, I leave spanking as like a last resort. Like if I absolutely have to, then it's gonna happen. But I mean,
And see,
you
a lot
gotta
of
discipline
people
your kids.
Well, a lot of
You
people
gotta
don't believe
discipline-
it is the last resort. It should be the first thing you do. And it's like, no.
No.
That also,
And I used to be one of those people. It's just I didn't like the idea that my kids were afraid of me. I wanted them to be afraid to not, I wanted them to be afraid and really think this is not something I should do because I could get punished. Not now I should be completely and utterly afraid of this one parent. That's not what I wanted. So I had to change things around in my head. So, like I said, I use spanking as like a last resort. And it's gotten me better results, to be honest, because now my kids go up to me and they're like the best poppy ever and all this other kiss assing shit. I mean, all this loving stuff,
yes,
but
the kids want
No,
to make you happy, so of course they're gonna kiss your butt. But that's just how kids are.
Yeah, they're not.
No, and actually that is the difference. That your first thought wasn't spank them when they do something wrong. That is the last thing you want to do. Like I only remember getting spanked once, but I think I got spanked one other time. It was always a last resort with my family, and it's because I think that's the other reason too. It makes your kids scared of you, so break it.
See, and then that's the thing is that what I've decided to do is like I tell my kids all the time. It's better for you to tell me the truth, and I will punish you less than if you tell me an entire lie that I know for a fact is a huge lie. Because that way, I feel like it gets them the message that yes, your actions do have consequences, but the fact of the matter is that it is always important to be honest than it is to tell a lie. And then for you, Herod raising narrative, is it better for your kids to fear you or respect you? I feel I don't really know how to answer it, but I'm going to do it my best. It is better that your kids, I don't want to use the word fear because I don't feel like your kids should be afraid of you, but I feel like it's one of those double-edged swords. They should be afraid that what they are doing is wrong, but they should also, it shouldn't be because I'm afraid of my father, I won't do this. It should be more of because this is the wrong thing to do. I know this is the wrong thing to do. I am not going to do this. I feel like I'm giving parenting advice, and that's not what I was intending to do. Because I personally don't feel like I am perfect in the first place. So to tell it feels kind of egotistical to me, but you know, I've had people tell me, "Oh, your kids are so well behaved." It's like, "Oh, that's just because you don't look that far behind the curtain here."
Well, yeah. It's not about kids learning your authority and respecting the judgment of the caregiver by all means necessary. Your job is to keep them alive, not be your pal. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I agree with that to some degree. See,
I
that's just why I keep saying it. Just it feels like a double-edged sword.
Yes. Yeah,
It's
your
like,
job is, at the end of the day, your job is to raise them to be the best humans you can, to keep them alive, make sure they've got food on the table, clothes to wear, a bed to sleep on, and a roof over their head. At the bare minimum, that is your job. But there is always a lot more to it. But you see, I watched someone raise their kid as their pal, and it didn't work. So but at the same time, I've watched people raise their kids with an iron fist, and they're nothing but scared of their parents. And as soon as they can get out of the house, they want nothing to do with them. It is a tightrope. You want your kids to fear you in some ways, but not like, oh my god, I'm so scared of them. But it's a different kind of fear. It's hard to explain.
And
respect is the closest thing, but it's not even that either.
yeah, definitely.
And see, the funny
Just
thing is,
to throw my
I don't have kids. I have a dog. But at the same time, we also don't hit our dog. We teach her with treats, and like we teach her what's wrong. Like my dog, if she does something wrong, we know because we go, "Did you do this?" And she will cower and become little. And we go, "Okay, well, you're gonna go be on your bed for a little bit. You stay there. You're being bad." But at the end of the day, she knows that we love her. So again, it is different because she's a dog and you can't like talk to her. But we are starting to realize that there are old ways that we raise kids that's really wrong. Then again, people used to think kids were friggin' little adults, which we know for a fact is not true. Yeah, for a very long time.
No way close.
No, how they had
think
this...
they are, but that's a completely different kettle of fish.
Yes, no, it's we're starting to realize what a child's brain is about, and what and the worst part is, like, a kid that's 7 to a kid that's 8 need completely different things, and each stage of the life needs different things. And sadly, when they get to a teenager, you're going to hate them. There's just no way around it. But they need that time. We know that they need that time because that's when they start to find themselves, find what they actually like, and they have to fight against what you've taught them, and they have to start fighting back to find out where their boundaries are and find out who they are without your influence. And it sucks as a parent to have to, like, as I've gotten older and seen how I treated my parents when I was a teenager, and I feel shitty because they were trying to do the best they could for me, but I understand, like, in my brain chemicals, I was trying to find me with having them partly in the equation, but I had to find me with them out of the equation too. It just sucks, and it's hard. Kids are hard, but we need them because without them, there is none of us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just the old, like, there's this old saying of, you know, the sins of the father, the sins of the children, or some nonsense of that sort. It's just, I find it interesting.
Take on the sins of the son, I think.
Something of that sort. And I just always found that interesting because when you're a teenager being told this by an adult, none of that fucking phases you. Like, it doesn't even make sense. And you eventually become a parent and you see how your kids act exactly the way you were when you were their age, and it just all clicks into place.
Yeah, and the problem is that we know, like, with abusers and stuff, it is generational. If your parents were abusive, you are very likely to be abusive because you need to break the cycle, sadly. And it's because you literally learn what love is what care is, what everything is by your parents. So of course you're going to take on what your parents says, because that's who you got taught by. That's who taught you what love is. And so it's really hard. It's just it's I think part of the reason I don't want to have kids, because I don't want the responsibility of having the worry of bringing up
It's
kids
like I said.
and failing them in some way and feeling like I failed them.
Yeah, let me. As a parent that's about to be a parent of 3, I will tell you this. Yes. Yeah.
He liked it so much he became a parent a third time.
Well, I mean, when it was good, it's good. I mean,
Look, when they become teenagers, I want a younger one to remind me what they were like when they were younger.
Yeah. I mean, as a parent, you're always going to feel like you failed some way, shape, or form. And I feel like that's where you find a good parent, is when they understand that they did in some way fail their kid and they accepted it, but rather than let it just get them to the point where they felt like, oh, I should just give up as a parent altogether, they, talked about it with somebody, even if it was their own parents or someone else. Then it's just like, you made it as a parent because of the fact that you pushed yourself to realize that, you made mistakes along the way. You're not perfect. So you are trying to raise these kids to be decent human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are that, because they're kids and they are going to do their own thing, that, as they develop their own personalities, you can't control them. You can't keep them on a leash. They're going to do whatever they want at some point. All you can really do is kind of just go in hoping and praying that everything you taught them sticks with them and they're able to do more with it than you anticipated.
You hope that you gave them all the tools that they need to prosper, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And especially with how much our world's changing quickly, it's becoming very difficult. Like, it's night and day different than when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got generations who do not know what it's like without the internet. We have generations that do not know what it's like to not have a cell phone with you at all times. And it's quite astounding. And yeah, there's been pushbacks about that, on what you should be doing, when you should be giving a kid a cell phone and stuff. And I actually agree that it should not be right away, because the kid doesn't need the internet.
Me too.
Like, they don't need unfeathered access to the internet, because as adults, we know that the internet isn't the safest place. There are predators on it. There is stuff on it that you just don't want your kid to see until they're older. Some stuff you never even want to see yourself. But
and see, the good thing with my kids not being able to watch the stream is they will never know what I'm about to say, is that as much as I was warned about predators on the internet, I still talk to random strangers on the internet behind my parents' back as a kid. So, yeah.
Yep.
So, good thing they don't know that.
But
I'm pretty sure they'll find a way to do it.
Well, it is a lot worse than it used to be too. The problem,
Absolutely.
like when we were growing up, it was still bad. I'm not going to lie. It was still bad when we were growing up. There were still lots of predators, but there wasn't as many tools as there are now. The predators have found loopholes into finding where kids are. And, I mean, they always have, but it is a lot easier now. You just go to a kid's game and just start talking, and they are finding predators in all these kids' games who are slowly but surely grooming kids and all that stuff, and it's heartbreaking. Yeah, and in our job, even me, who is not an adult, like not a parent, it is still my job.
You're not an adult?
Sorry, I am an adult. I wish I wasn't. It is still my job to protect kids. Even though I do not have kids, I will still protect a kid. That, to me, is not even a question. They are innocent. They are what are coming up. They will be the next generation, and we need to protect them. There's never been a question to me. Even though I don't have I will always protect a kid. Even though they're little monsters, and oh my god. I remember being a kid. They're not innocent, like, completely, but
Not
God,
by any shape of the word.
but they are innocent in different ways. They do not understand that not everyone has their best interests in mind, that there are people there who are just want to hurt them. And it's heartbreaking because as an adult you can easily see that person's not a kid. No, that person is not a kid. They are not talking like a kid. They're not thinking like a kid. They are not a kid. But a kid doesn't get that.
It's true.
So, but yeah, no, it's I'm hoping no kids are ever watching my stuff. I read pretty messed up things. I write pretty messed up things.
Oh, I mean, that's the part that kills me, is that there are parents out there that want to say, oh, well, this content shouldn't exist because my kids could possibly reach it and watch it. And I'm always just like, they wouldn't be able to if you were watching them.
Yes, and that's the thing. This content isn't good enough for my kid. Well, I'm not making this content for kids. I'm making this content for adults and maybe, older teenagers. I'm not making this with the idea of an 8-year-old watching my stuff, because I'm not making this for an 8-year-old. Like, that's not where my mindset is. If we only had content for kids, parents would be hitting their head against walls. And full-grown adults who don't have kids are going to be hitting their heads against walls, because kid stuff is very repetitive and very boring to us, and doesn't have the nuance that we want, because our brains are more developed and we can get more into, like, trying to figure out why something happened. Well, a kid wants, Dora went to the mall. Dora went to the mall. Like, they need the repetitive so they can get into their brain better. We don't need that. We're past that point. So it's like, I'm not making
And we just choose
content.
to ignore everything.
Yeah. But so it's completely like this whole, like, well, you should only make stuff for kids. We've never done that. Not ever have we done that. We've had adult television channels for years. I used to watch YouTube, well, not YouTube, but I used to watch Yahoo and Cartoon Network and all this stuff, which were meant for kids to a certain extent. After a certain point, it was not anymore. YTV, not Yahoo. But there was those channels meant for kids, and Treehouse. Well, pretty much everything else was for adults. Like, everything else was made for adults. So why would YouTube be any different? Why would Twitch be any different? Why would, like, we've always made content for adults first, kids second, pretty much. So why would we change this in any way? Why would the internet be any different?
I have no idea.
So yeah, it's just.
Oh, and I missed hair-raising narrative's statement here of DLV rules with an iron fist. I mean, you're not wrong.
That fist must be iron.
Yes.
Strong and ready to take down any miscreant that thinks that they can be king.
And they damn well try, man.
Yeah, no, it's just it's interesting just how much our world's changed in the years that I've even been alive, and I'm now getting to the point where I've met people who were in their 20s who don't even know what 9/11, like, they weren't alive during 9/11. It's just like, you what? You weren't what? How are you able to drink? Go back and have your sippy cup. You were too young for this. And I'm like, oh my god, I feel old. I feel so old right now. That you weren't even alive during 9/11. Oh my god. Okay. No, go.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry I brought up my kids.
Hello, Eternal Night. No, it's 20-year-olds. It's 20-year-olds that I'm talking to that are now old enough to be 20, to vote, to all this stuff, and are now too young to know what 9/11 is and fully know what that felt like to be part of it. I mean, I was fairly young when it happened still, but it was still still had an impact. I mean, I was in Canada, so it's not like I wasn't anywhere near the fallout of it all, but I remember it being on the news and just the thing that it was actually a real thing and it wasn't just a movie, and some people actually decide to do this and to take other people's lives, and just the horror of it all. And then to know that there's people that will only learn about it in the history books, and it's like, and not fully grasp everything like we do with World War II and stuff. Like, I know the atrocities that happened in World War II, but they won't affect me like someone who lived through them.
Yeah.
Who was day and night not sure what was going to happen next. And it's going to be the same thing with COVID and everything. They're going to be kids now born that had no clue what it was like to live through this pandemic and what it was like to not know what tomorrow was going to bring. Yeah, and I was in high school. Well, it would be, for most Americans, it would be middle school technically, but it was high school where I was living when 9/11 happened. Yeah. And all the TVs had...
I was in 6th grade when it happened, and I was, I think, like 1 or 2 boroughs away from when it happened. Yeah, I might as well just say I grew up in the Bronx, so
you were around this, you were in it, and you actually went through it way more than I did. I was in Vancouver, quite far away. I mean, I'm Canadian, so, but I mean, it affected everyone. It didn't, like, it was horrible. The heart of America, like the city, when you think of America, normally the two things that come to mind are either DC or New York or California. Yeah. So like those are the things that come to people's minds more often than not, and it hit New York City. The city of, how I think of it, as where all the immigrants came. It's how you got into the States, and it hit it, and it was just like, and then and to me, I never got my head around hating people so much that you could take people's lives that you never even knew. They didn't know who these people that they killed. They just saw them as the enemy, and it's not something that I can comprehend. And it's the same thing, I'm pretty sure, for World War II and all the wars, is fighting people that you personally don't know anything about, killing someone you didn't actually know. And it's just astounding, like human history and us doing stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I'm weird. I'm the kind of person who just doesn't get blinding hate for hate's sake. Like, how can you... That person's a person. So they don't believe what you believe. They don't see things the way you see. But that doesn't mean that they are any less human. Doesn't mean that they're any less supposed to live. Like, it's just... I never gotten it. I don't think
it makes you weird for it, though.
I hope I never get it. Not ever. Because
Same.
I don't want to have that mind frame where you can just hate someone so blindly to do stuff. But it takes...
definitely a true alternative night. The world is a cruel place. But I tend to look at it as, like, there is ugly and then there's beauty in the world. And the two existing is pretty much... just is what it is.
Yeah, but it's so easy to get lost in the ugly and forget that there's that beauty too. And apparently King said he kept looking at the CN Tower thinking it was going to get hit, because they didn't know what all their targets were. Because I mean, New York is pretty close to Toronto, and it's one of the major cities in Canada. Like, it's the biggest city in Canada, if I remember correctly. And if there was going to be a target in Canada, it would be Toronto, 100%, because that would have a big. It's basically New York in Canada. That's what Toronto is.
I'm so sorry for you guys then.
Well, it's not exactly the same.
I'm just saying.
But it is, like, it's one of the oldest cities. It's got a big immigration too, but it's not right next to a coast, so it's not as... But it's a major city, it's huge, and it would be like New York being hit. If that one got hit, it would have like, people would be dumbfounded. So, And the other one, I was living in Vancouver, which was another big city too that I could see getting hit, but it was quite far away because it's on the west coast. So
Right.
no, it's just it's crazy. Just the time passing and realizing the things that are going on in your life, and the next generation's gonna have no clue. They're just gonna read about it in a book, and you're like, but you're not old enough to vote. Go have your sippy cup.
At least you don't have children who will read it in a book and then they'll look at you and go, Poppy, you lived through this? It's like, you make it sound like I was right there. Okay, little shit. I was born in that time period. Doesn't mean that I was there in your history book. Okay? I didn't go through the exact moment of everything. I just happened to be in that time period. But that just makes you sound so old. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck you too.
Like, I'm not that old. Like, come on. But at the same time, you do have some of the stories because you were in New York City at the time, so you would have definitely more stories than I would because you would know all the backlash from it.
Yeah.
And actually,
I mean,
like,
here's the thing that kills me is that I got to see a lot more of. I think that's when my eyes were more open to the world instead of being that naive kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's like we went from not really being like we were just people who just didn't seem to really care about the other. And then all of a sudden 9/11 happened and we were just like all knit, like close together and just united and everything. And then once that phase passed, it just felt like we haven't been the same since.
No, 100%. You guys got all close knit. Actually, the whole world did for a while there too. But like America got really close and got together about it. And then you've all kind of fallen apart since. And I watch a lot of news stuff about what's going on in the States because, of course, what happens in America does affect Canada in some ways. Like we're so closely entwined. We've always have been. And so when America's not doing great, Canada's not doing great. We're major trades to each other. Our economies are very tied together. And just watching America, like, basically falling apart has been very hard for me because I'm like, and then watching people, like, declare that it's the best country in the world, and I'm sitting here going, you don't have health care for your citizens. Like, and you guys are fighting over that this is a commie thing, and I'm like, no, it's called socialism, and the rest of the world is doing it. It's called socialism, and it's a good thing because you want socialism, so you have schools and roads, and you need the government to take care of certain things because you don't want a free economy to take care of the people because it doesn't work. If you had people, a third party doing your roads, they're going to cheap out as much as they can. Well, the government's job is supposed to take care of the best. So if it's going to cost X amount of dollars to make this road last 20 years, they're going to pay that. Well, the third party is going to be, it's X amount of money to make it last 20, or we could do this way cheaper way and it lasts 5. It's cheaper though, and it might not be their problem next time. And that's the problem. And it's the same thing with healthcare. You've got third parties taking care of it, and it's not working because it's the health of your people. That should be run by a government thing because yes, it's going to cost X amount of dollars to keep your citizens healthy. But if you keep them healthy, they can pay taxes longer, which means you get more money out of them in the long run. So if you take care of them through their lifehood and through the end, you get all this tax revenue and in the end. And it's just hard to watch because all countries have some kind of healthcare that are developed, and the States is the only one developed country that doesn't have a healthcare for their people, and it's hard. It's just really hard, and I try not to get into political stuff because that's technically political, which I'm like, it's not political. It's just how things are.
I was gonna say that, but I want to just let yourself kind of just say what you gotta say. I'm just that kind of guy in general.
I love people, and I think I do not believe that the government should have a hand in everything. But what I believe is
no.
the government should take care of their people. That is what the government's job is. If they're not taking care of their citizens, what are they doing? So
Yeah.
that's where I like people keep like I've talked to people about that, like, well, they're a little too stepping over. I'm like, their job is to take care of us. If they think shutting down because of the COVID, because of the pandemic is what's going to take care of us, then that's what we need to do. That's their job. And they also have to think of the economy. Well, they're willing to take this hit for the economy to take care of us. And that's where my mind is. Like, it's always been the government's job, take care of your people, and if you're not doing that, get the fuck out and get someone who can. So.
You're absolutely right.
And to me, that should not be political. That should just be, don't think, like, your government should, like, what would Candy say? Don't think what the government can do for you. You think what you can do for your government. No. Your government should be doing for you. That's what your government's for. That's why you elect the people you elect, because you think they're going to do the best what's in your interest to take care of. And
Absolutely.
The problem is, and this is a lot of the countries are very corrupt. The people who run are always not the most ideal.
Alternative night.
Alternative night, you're also. But yeah, no, it's just how I always thought of it in that way, and I guess I'm a very socialist person because, yeah, no, and I believe that dental should be covered, eye care should be covered, therapy should be covered, all that. Anything that's in the medical field should be completely covered by the government, because they've proven that if your teeth are rotting out your face, your health's going to shit.
Yup.
If you can't see, you can't do anything. If you can't walk, you can't do anything. Like well, most of that stuff's actually, like, if it's really dental and eye, they're the only thing that's left that's not covered by the government in Canada. So, like, if I need, well, I guess I do have to pay for that. Like, if I have to go see a specialist because my feet hurt a lot and I need to go special soles. So going to see them is covered, but getting the actual insoles isn't. Which is like, unless I do have coverage through my work, so that's something that happens. But it's like, but if you don't have the coverage, you're kind of hooped. Just like, it should just all be covered.
Yeah.
It's just easy for me.
See, like, my job allows me to be covered by things, but it comes out of my paycheck.
Yeah.
And
same.
I feel that itself is stupid, because it's, how do I put this? Basically, if you need that extra money for anything, like maybe bills or,
Food.
because it's supposed to be, how do they fucking phrase it? It's like an out-of-pocket expense of some sort. I don't know the term for it, but you're going to need that cash. Yeah, the deductible. How am I supposed to pay a deductible that you took out of my own check?
Yeah, so basically let's say you have to pay a $500 deductible, but after that, everything's paid.
Mm-hmm.
I already paid you money. Why do I have to pay a $500 deductible to get the rest? It's like, I can't raise that $500. That's why I need the coverage. And same, like, dental's like that. There's always a certain amount you have to pay out of pocket. They never 100% cover it. And it's just annoying. It's like...
Absolutely.
Which reminds me, I gotta go see the dentist. It's been a few years. I'm really bad for that, but that's because I grew up seeing the dentist, like, I swear, all the time. They had to pull all my baby teeth, and I had braces, and like,
oh, no.
So my brain always goes, no, don't go to the dentist. And it's like, no, actually, I do need to see the dentist. No, don't do it. It's like, no, I have to go see the dentist. That's a grown-up thing to do. It's like, but we're not grown-ups, we're kids. We don't want to do this. And the funny part is, I went there to get my wisdom teeth pulled, and my brain's going, they're going to pull my teeth. That's what I'm here for. They're going to pull your teeth. That is brain. That is what we're here for, because they're causing me pain, because they're half falling apart and sideways. Fucking wisdom teeth. They're not so wise.
I mean, we've even done science where we've proven that one time wisdom teeth were actually important for us, but now
No, we don't need them
they're
anymore.
pretty much irrelevant. So
My husband actually is one of the people who never grew wisdom teeth. His body never grew them. So
lucky him.
there actually is a lot of people who are not getting them anymore. So
I do apologize. My children are needing my attention. I'll be back in like 1 minute.
okay. I go every few months. King, why would you go every few months? That sounds like a terrible idea. Why? They just want to pull your teeth, King. That's all they want to do. They pull your teeth and they sell them to the tooth fairy. That's how they make the money. What exactly is wise about wisdom teeth, and where's the wisdom from them? True. No, they're not very. Yeah, I want lasagna too. Lasagna is the best. I love lasagna. No, I don't know why they're called wisdom teeth, but sadly there is no lasagna to be had. You could always go buy a lasagna, cook it, and eat it, Derringer. This is something you can do. You need cleaning every few months? That was supposed to be every 6 months for cleanings. Oh, thinking you might have a different kind of mouth, because there's a couple where you have to go every few months instead of every 6 months. No, not allowed. Not allowed to have frozen lasagna. Wisdom got ripped out years ago and I feel great. Yeah, same here, actually. It's been way better since I got rid of them. My mouth wasn't big enough for them. Can't they just be called... Nah, I got issues in there. That's not the only place you have issues, King. Let's not lie. There's a few other places you have issues. We know this, King. We know it. 110%. I just gonna call them half-broken teeth. They don't come in all the time very well. They suck. I hate wisdom teeth. I got issues and I got 99 problems and a woman ain't one of them. Except for a dog. I drink and I smoke and drink a lot. Coffee, 110%. That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
Alrighty, I'm back. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. You have kids. We've been through this.
Oh my god. Well, it's just my daughter is afraid to just wipe herself because of reasons,
Hey.
which I guess is better than with my son, who we made the horrible mistake of allowing him to watch Five Nights at Freddy's gameplays.
Oh no.
Yeah. So his thing would be that he continuously pooped on himself because, and I quote, "I'm afraid that animatronics will eat me if I poop in the toilet."
So, I had a similar problem. For some reason, I thought if I flushed the toilet, snakes would come out of it.
Oh my god.
So I didn't flush the toilet. I'd used the washroom. I don't even know if I told my mom and dad that. But yeah, no, I was scared that if we flushed it, snakes would come out. So I didn't flush the toilet. So, kids' imaginations are weird. I don't even know where I got this idea from. Probably some TV show. Who knows? Maybe there's some movie, some really old B movie where snakes came out of a toilet, and I was just like, oh my god, snakes come out of a toilet?
It's possible, man. Now you had some weird cartoons that it's just like, at the time, you're like, this is entertaining. Then you look back on it when you're older, and I'm like, I was allowed to watch this. Why?
Yeah, no, it's like, why did you let me watch this? This was a terrible idea.
Yeah. I think Ren and Stimpy was the biggest example of that.
I didn't actually
just
watch Red and Stimpy.
Oh, I did, and I liked it. And then I got older, and I'm like, there is no way this should be appropriate for children.
It's really not.
Is there something we were talking about before? Oh, we were talking about teeth.
Yes, it's just fine. Just wisdom teeth. Why are they called wisdom teeth? They're not very wise. So that's about it.
Oh.
I'm actually scared of having a rat swim out of the toilet bowl one day and bite my bum. That's actually legit fear. They will do that. They will. They can get through those. That's why I was thinking a snake wouldn't do that, but a rat would. Yeah, no, I still to this day, I remember vividly thinking that a snake was going to come out of the toilet. I don't know how long that lasted for, but it was a little bit. Kids, they
That's why I don't miss New York, because I hate the rats. Oh god, did I hate the rats.
You miss pizza? Don't you miss Pizza Rat? He was like the mascot
Oh,
for
no.
a while.
I'm pretty sure I blanked the hell out of that.
Yeah, there was a Pizza Rat for a little bit where they found a rat dragging a piece of pizza down some stairs or something. He got nicknamed Pizza Rat. And it was in New York.
That's probably how that cartoon, like, there's this cartoon called We Bear Bears, and then it's just like they have Bagel Rat, where he just like grabs everything that's in the shape of a bagel down some stairs. I'm pretty sure that's where they got the inspiration from.
Oh, 100%. So remember, be careful about the rats biting your bum when you're sitting on a toilet. Toronto rats scare me and my bum too. King 2022. No, I was I barely saw any rats or anything, but I lived in more less populated areas, so I didn't live in cities.
No, we caught a rat on a glue trap, and that was awful. This thing, and one of my cousins swears I exaggerate this, but this thing looked like the size of a small cat. Like, no joke. And then the fact that my stepfather thought it was a smart idea to shoot pellets at it to kill it was both traumatizing and stupid at the same time.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy I never saw that. Nope.
Oh, And I've seen rats in the subway of New York,
Oh yeah.
and they act like it's just a casual Friday to them every single chance that they get.
Hey, it's Casual Friday today. Why are you wearing your tux? Why are you talking like that? No, they're too acclimated to humans. That's the problem.
It's very possible, because they're very smart. I'll give them that.
Oh yeah, anything they'll fit their head through, they can fit their body through.
Mm-hmm.
Which is scary.
See,
Oh.
so it's a legitimate fear, is what I keep saying. But then it's just like, Decay will be like, I don't like mice or rats, but I don't see why you're so afraid of it. It's like, that is why. They're smart, they are very clever, and they can fit into pretty much anything.
Pretty much, yep. No, I'm good. And this is when I look behind me and see a rat. I go, ah!
That's why I was just like, oh, so you want me to move to Indiana?
To Canada?
You want me to move in with you? Yeah, go. I'll move to Canada.
Apparently, supposedly, Alberta is the only free part of the world without rats. I don't know how true that is, but we do take killing rats pretty serious around here. We don't like rats.
I wish that was the same way with New York, but it's just like,
It's New York.
I feel like we're so used to it that we just don't even care at this point.
Everything's rat infested in New York. Everything.
Yep.
That really expensive condo up there, rat infested. What's wrong with Indiana?
There's nothing wrong. I just was trying really hard not to say it, but of course I had my usual Hagrid moment and just blurted stuff that I shouldn't have said. And now I'm in the back of my head going, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
Everyone knows I live in
Yes.
Canada and I live in Calgary, so I mean, I'm more specific than you are. But good luck finding me.
Right.
Cause
Hashtag stop killing the rats. It's like, well, then the rats need to stop freaking being pests. I'm sorry.
if anyone
Just
ever
fighting
found
rats.
me, good luck. I live with 3 guys, a dog, and a cat now. So, and also I might as well be a guy. So 3 guys and and one of my roommates is pretty weak. So yeah, it'd be 3 guys. It'd be fine.
Ow.
But yeah, no. It's
I don't think you should have just shared that. I mean,
It's okay.
in a fight, you don't tell them all your weaknesses. You
No,
gotta let them figure it
no.
out themselves.
I'm not weak. I move heavy boxes at work every day. I do physical labor.
Hey, now we need an artist that just like draws your OC, but with like these buffed ass muscles, like Larissa, however you say her name from Encanto.
No, I'm not that buff. I'm not that buff. That is Rando's dream, though, 100%. But no, I'm just not a weak woman. I never wanted to be, so I've always made sure that I'm pretty strong. But yeah, no, I lift.
And that's how I'm trying to raise my daughter, to be honest.
Well, it's just. It's annoying to be seen as a weak girl all the time. It's just.
I was gonna say amen, like if I actually know what that's like, and I was like, no, I don't.
Fortune's jacked in making an art of this. He's making an art of
Yes,
this.
do it.
Oh,
Do it.
no. Oh no! Actually, the funny
I
part
will
is
even pay for the commission for that.
a few people actually do know what I look like, and they would say I'm not buff. There's a few other narrators that actually know what I look like. The Rock _ 42. Maybe. I'm not that strong, guys. I'm just not one of those women who gets worried about particular things. Apparently, King
Let the
will.
art flow through you.
But yeah, no. I can lift up my 60-pound dog. She hates it, though. She's like, why are you picking me up again? I am too big for this. I don't care. 1 puppy push-up. 1, 2 puppy push-up.
Now, thanks for sharing your workout routine with all of us.
Yes, it's pulling up your dog 5 times. Only once, though, because after that, she gets really uppity and doesn't want to do it. She hates being picked up. It's something with a big dog.
Hopefully, too.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I'm just thinking once a month that happens every time. I feel like it's slowly sugar power. Look, I am a woman. There's once a month where I'm very angry and prone to get mad at people because I'm in pain.
That is fair. That is fair.
I swear I would trade with a guy any day. I'm like, oh, you want to know what it's like to be a girl? Here you go. Do you really want to be us now? No, didn't think so. But then again, apparently getting sacked is just as painful as giving birth, but it goes away faster. Women have to deal with that for hours on end. So
yeah.
I think I'd still be a guy some days.
I always feel so bad for Decay with that one.
Ugh.
She had to have a C-section for both kids because she has what they had called it a android pelvis.
Android pelvis.
So that's how she phrased it. I'm just going by what the doctor has said. I'm pretty sure there are other terms for it, but that is how it was. So yeah, she really wanted to just have a natural birth because apparently a C-section is a little more expensive and all this other stuff. And
there's complications with it too because of course you're literally being cut open. But yeah, no. But I mean, actually, apparently, babies' heads are getting bigger while our hips are getting smaller.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good.
Well, at least you're not giving birth to the equivalent of a penis, so at least there's that going for you guys.
At least was it?
Right?
It's the size of a grapefruit for a guy. Something like
Ah,
that. Damn.
yeah,
Delphi's life is half android.
yeah. And she can act. She sometimes acts that way, but I love her.
I would hope so. Hello, getting
Yeah.
spooky.
Hello, getting spooky.
Welcome to the chaos. Babies' heads are getting bigger. Some people already have too big of heads. It's fair. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Thank you getting spooky. Thank you for stopping by. Actually, the stream is just about over
Indeed.
too, so thank you so much.
Oh darn!
Well,
I haven't caused enough chaos.
I think you have.
You sure? Because I could add a little bit more if you want. Tip you off there.
I don't need to get banned off of YouTube. I'm small and little, but YouTube still watches. YouTube is always watching. YouTube knows all.
God.
God, that's a scary thought. That Facebook's like that though. Facebook watches everything you do, and it's fucking creepy, man.
I fucking hate Facebook. I even hate its founder, especially learning the history of Facebook itself is just.
Yeah.
Facebook had sent me a text message a couple days ago saying that it was going to disable my account in about 7 days because a lot of people were trying to hack it. And I'm like, so what you're telling me is you're not going to punish the hackers or, resolve this in some normal human way. You're going to go about it in the most irrational, dumbass way you can possibly imagine by punishing the victim, not the criminal.
Yes, I like to victim
Great
blame.
plan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
At night, I hate being watched. Well, that's why I put the camera up in your room so I can watch you whenever you decide to sleep, which I'm not sure when that is because I've never seen you sleep alternative night.
Doesn't sound creepy at all. Why would I ever think of such things?
If 42's not being creepy, 42's not doing her job.
Or maybe she's just too busy being Hulk 42 or the other alternative 242s.
Yeah, there's 242, and 42. There's 3 characters. Look. I have lore. I need to do a 500s special, but I think I'm gonna wait for 1,000 to actually do the next lore drop.
Absolutely. I would probably do that too.
Yeah, I did it at 100, or I did it at 242 subscribers.
So before we end up ending the stream, I know you'll end it yourself because it's your stream. I'm not gonna be like certain people and just take over. But
Miss Creepy Tales, Lace Macaria. Not to name drop.
But like, right. But what did inspire you to come up with your own lore for your OCs?
First of all, hi, As the Raven Dreams. Welcome to the chaos. So, originally they were just supposed to be basically other personalities of me. 2 was supposed to be my good side, 42 was supposed to be my evil side, and then I sat there and I started thinking about it when I was at the 242 mark, and I was like, why don't I just make it so they're actually other beings from different universes, and that 242 went and found and brought with her. That'd be kind of interesting, and that's how it happened.
Okay.
I need to write more about the lore. Hi, sorry I missed so much of the stream. It was grocery shopping day. That sounds familiar.
Sus.
Almost like I did that last week during my own stream. Look, Costco,
wow,
you have to get...
Karma's a bitch.
Well, you have to go to Costco, and you have to go early, because if you don't go early, the crowd's huge, and no, 42 don't play with that.
Don't Alternative Night asked, are you trying to watch an unmasked Alternative Night sleep?
Maybe. I will never tell though. Yeah, no, it just came up with it. Now I gotta sit down and I create all 3 worlds that my characters came from. So it's really funny because everyone calls me 42, and I'm like, actually, technically, when you're talking to anyone, it's always 242, always.
Yeah.
Unless I call you darling or sweetie, then it's the other 2.
Okay.
Raven, get that cabbage. Look, in my head,
Or
every
if you're
time...
from Indiana, it's gotta be like, oh, gotta get the bread and milk.
Well, no, Raven's shown us pictures of cabbage before, because he found an exactly 5-pound head of cabbage once.
Oh.
But in my head, Raven is a bird. Like, he actually is a giant raven in my head. And so he flies into Walmart, lands on the cabbage, starts knocking cabbage off until he finds one he likes, pecks it. Patience is a human. Patience picks it up, puts it in a bag, and they continue on their way. And that is how Raven shops in my head. Raven flies over, knocks over things he doesn't want, pecks at the one he does want, and Patience picks it up. And that is how they shop. Specifically only at Walmart's, because they won't ask questions at Walmart.
Yeah.
Anywhere else,
really
Patience has to go by herself. That is how it works, yes. I have been banned from many stores for this. And he gave
I would
King
hope
gave
with pants on for you, King. I'm sorry, but I would really hope you would be going shopping with pants on.
No, he gave Raven pants in the picture he drew.
Oh, that one. Okay, I was
Yes.
just like, wait a minute. If you don't go shopping with pants, that
No, he goes shopping with
that leads
shorts
to
on. He's
concerns.
Canadian. In the middle of winter, you must go shopping with shorts on. That is the rule. It is a Canadian rule. You cannot disprove me, because I totally wear shorts all the time, and not only wear pants / jeans 24/7.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just funny because every time Raven, that's always what going through my head is him flying in and freaking knocking shit over. No one even looks twice. You don't need pants at Walmart. No, you don't need anything at Walmart. They'll let anyone in.
God, don't remind me of that.
I used to work for Walmart. Luckily, it was overnight, so I didn't see stuff. Oh.
I'm in that position at the moment.
You work at Walmart?
Overnight.
Well, you know what? I liked overnights, but I don't know if you're closed during overnights like we were.
Well, we are now because of the pandemic. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure we'd go right back to, being 24 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I feel like as the pandemic was getting better at one point, we were slowly trying to be a 24-hour store again, and then we just was like, nope. It's getting worse. We're going to just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, we were closed. Like, there was, I think, McDonald's, some convenience stores, and that was it that was open in that little town for 24 hours. It's just, it didn't have the draw for it. So it was really nice because, I could listen to podcasts when we were closed because we had no customers. Yeah. I miss those days.
So long as I don't have my boss there, I can. Because otherwise he'll try to chat me up to see where I'm at, as if that makes a difference somehow.
Do you do groceries or do you do,
maintenance?
Oh, okay. You're a completely different thing than me then. I
started off with stocking shelves, and then they were like, hey, so we need somebody to replace this person because he no longer wants to be in maintenance. And I was just like, well, money is money. I don't give a damn. So I went for it. And I hate that boss with a burning fire passion of sons, but
but it must pay the bills.
Yes, I do.
I stocked grocery. I didn't do grocery. I did dairy. So.
Oh God.
But I didn't do the freezer because we had the one guy loved the freezer and I loved dairy, so it worked out perfectly for us. We never had to agree to anything. If he was working, I did dairy. If he wasn't working, the guy was doing freezer. Because I actually ran dairy very well, and I kept it very organized. So I was actually very good at that job. But it was overnights, and I hated it.
Yeah. I only hate overnights just because it always feels like you don't really have much energy to do anything else. And then people are just like, hey, why don't you do this with us or do that with us? It's like, because at that time, I'm
sleeping.
out, like, yes.
You know
I go by vampire rules.
Look, I have decided to become a vampire, and the first step is starting to work at Walmart overnights. If I can do that, they said I can become a vampire in 15 to 30 years.
Right.
Wait.
They've officially taken all the life out of you.
That is how you become a vampire. Specific. And on that note, on how to become a vampire, we will call the end of the stream, guys. Yeah, tonight, yes, they're bad for mental health, and they're actually bad for your health because you're not getting the vitamin D you're supposed to be getting too. So, yeah, night shifts aren't the greatest.
Nope.
So, everyone, don't do night shifts unless you have no choice, and if you do, make sure you're getting paid extra money.
Yep.
Because
me, mwahaha.
Just like Dark Little Voices is. All right.
Give me your money.
I hope you all have a good day and take care.